perfectly matched against each other, just going back and forth. And I am absolutely loving everything that I'm seeing as Marvel Rivals Pros start off with the Namor ban once again. They seem to be insta-banning him every single time, really targeting Kadia, who really is such a talented Namor player. I cannot stop singing my praises about his Namor. I mean, he does things on that hero that you wouldn't think are possible, as they go for something really similar to what they did last round, with both teams doing the exact same picks and bans as before. Namor and Strange being banned, Adam and Hela being protected. Now, if this trend continues, we're going to see, oh, instead of having Wolverine banned, Invincible chooses to opt for the Psylocke instead, because, I mean, Asfd on the Psylocke is quite the menace, but it does seem like Hela will be open to both teams, and Asfd and Happy will be duking it out once again as Hawkeye gets banned in return by Marvel Rivals Pros. And I mean, this is going to be a close match because, I mean, again, look at the score. Look at both of these teams. Both of these rosters are so stacked with such brilliant talent, with such seasoned esports veterans that are looking to make a name for themselves in this new game that just came out. And I cannot wait to see how both teams approach this first point right here.
We can't wait to see it either. We'll say either side, possibly getting just the jetpack as well as the bonus health for the Rocket Raccoon. Never know when you need it. Obviously, swap back after the fact, but excited to see some more action to the side of Kadia, who I will say has been getting target banned the entire time, right? No Namor, no Hawkeye. It kind of puts him in an interesting position of, okay, that's fine. I'll probably just swap over to support. No issue. And hey, can rock from there.
Yeah, and I'm looking really forward to Invincible's attack right here, as both teams are running fairly similar comps right here, both opting for the triple support, and Hela, that seems to have gotten really popular halfway through this match. We haven't been seeing much of this comp being played throughout the tournament, but it seems like both teams have really taken a liking to this specific comp, where Adam Warlock kind of functions as a second DPS that is also capable of healing and reviving his entire team if they get knocked out, which I absolutely love, as Invincible pushes up and forces Marvel Rivals to kind of back up into their little cubby right there, not giving them a lot of room to walk around and take any off angles or take any real positions here. But NLE Choppa and FunFun are retaliating by pushing up onto the point, looking to really push back Invincible's tank line here, as Happy is just free firing from the bottom right, completely uncontested.
Now it's going to be Baby Bruce caught out by NLE Choppa, who's been an absolute menace not only on the Doctor Strange, but then the Magneto. The fact that Strange has been banned moving forward kind of puts him in a position of still having to play that shield, just on a different name. That's no issue. And for FunFun, Gamma shielding in hand, Magneto shield as well, pops the bubble. For NLE Choppa playing into the shrapnel and making sure this front line, especially on MR Pro, is kept defended. Might be hard to do so, especially with a Hulk there to disrupt it and allow Invincible to push further upward.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel Rivals Pro, they're putting up quite the strong defense here, as Invincible's Hulk goes up to the high ground to push Asfd, distracting him, leaving Happy open to get the pick for himself, but that does not stop No Limit from popping the revive and making sure that Asfd is back in the fight, as 4 ultimates from Marvel Rivals Pros go out at the same time. Neko looking to get a lot of value out of this Meteor M, picking off Felix successfully, and Happy just tearing it up, getting 2 KOs with 1 shot from his Hela ult. I mean, there's not too much more Marvel Rivals Pros are able to do in this fight, besides hopefully maybe pick off Happy and make a heroic comeback, but it really does seem like Invincible has quite the upper hand right here.
About to say we have a minute 33, and considering this is our final final map. Things getting way more tense than they need be, especially for the Hulk on the side of Invincible. Able to chase down Felix and trying to chase down another here on the side of MR Pro. Now Happy just having to kind of sit in backline, finds inv1ncible. It might not even be able to secure another one here as the majority of MR Pro down and out. Same for Dobby and the same for No Limit.
I mean, inv1ncible tried his best to contest for as long as possible, but now Fun getting staggered just a little bit as Invincible acknowledges their advantage in this current circumstance that they're at, and they push up all the way through the second checkpoint, knowing that they have to hold as much space as possible and deny Marv2lRiva1s pros from having just an inch of the map for themselves as they take the high ground and start taking pot shots on them down below.
Down from up top here, it is going to be the Hulk from Invincible. Just diving in, ambush potential on a high, but still gets sedated. So I say that there's not much room for it. Waits a little too late, I should say. On the Snow ulti, Meteor M to kind of hit for a slam, a dunk, and against the Adam Warlock. Good pick at that one from inv1ncible.
Yeah, both teams trading Meteor M's right now, not really getting too much done with them, but Invincible does start pushing back in with the Mantis ult, knowing that they have to take advantage of the current situation that they're in, with Heidi getting a pick on No Limit, but he is able to revive himself, and he does have the mass revive in his pocket for just in a little bit. If things start going south for Marv2lRiva1s pros and they start getting KO'd, he'll just be able to reverse all of Invincible's hard work and effort, as Happy is just sitting on main, loading shots into Fun and forcing him to back out and leave the fight for just a little bit to get his HP back. But in the meantime, Invincible is just pushing the cart basically for free right here.
Free, we love to see it, but even more so, I imagine if you're on the side of MR Pro, hate to see the fact there's a very charged up Hulk coming in and coming right at you. No Limit, the first to spot that out, first to get taken down, and now Happy trying to play into the Hello ulti, finds Dobby off in the back line, and Invincible doing at least a few more eliminations, but MR Pro taking that instead. Where there's one revive, there is an exile, and now S has no choice but to have to pop back here off the Pros, but get taken out by the Hulk, and now Fun able to take down all the way down to Bruce. ASD playing into the assist here.
Yeah, oh, poor Hulk from Invincible gets walled off by the symbiote wall, stuck in the enemy team, with no one on his team being able to help him because they're getting LOS. So now Marv2lRiva1s pros, with only a minute left on the clock to defend, they are just cleaning up these last little stragglers here. As Invincible is forced to regroup, they have no ultimates going into this last fight, but they're gonna have to make do with what they have, which is not much besides, I mean, maybe Happy is able to just, in the complete neutral game, just pick someone off just by himself. But besides that, it's going to look a little bit rough for Invincible as they're going into a really heavy ult advantage on Marv2lRiva1s' end. As the end, Happy duke it out. Not much happening quite yet, though.
Not just yet, but ASD having to pull back here, gets Luna Snow health and Soul bonded. So even if they go down, they always have the opportunity to be able to play, make a comeback. Gamma shielding on the inv1ncible. Now back in front. Positioned well off of Vanguard, but Happy wanted to get in with these DPS sneak picks. That's one against Felix. Good elimination, but it is going to be the Karmic Revival from MR Pro to keep them steady, keep them alive for a little bit longer here. The side of Invincible, however, playing into the Hella ulti, got it to death from above, and able to find out AS trade out Meteor M from inv1ncible to find the Adam Warlock, Felix on Acadia. Felix finds a second pick here on the Luna Snow, and as quickly as they go down, as quickly as they come back up here, headed into our overtime, Ruben, it's starting to get sticky.
Oh no, Marv2lRiva1s thought they were in such a great position to win that fight, but both Cadia and Invincible's Adam Warlock had their self-reses up, and immediately afterwards, they started getting all of the picks they needed to successfully capture the second point here, as Invincible goes on to the third point with only a minute 30 left. things are looking a little bit rough for Marv2lRiva1s Pros as they were really looking to win that fight and stop their push right there. But unfortunately, Invincible is coming back with a vengeance with half of their ults on board. I mean, things are starting to look a little rough for the Marv2lRiva1s Pros defense here.
About 1 minute and 5 seconds left on the clock. There's not much for Invincible to try and do here with such little time. MR Pro, the defense, it's starting to look drastic. And dwindling chances at that one. Hulk dive has the possibility to pop the ulti, and that's going to be just that in the side of Invincible. Get rid of the stragglers, especially trying to sort through the back line strategists. Just everyone getting shredded. The same could be said for No Limit. Dobby goes down as well, and even though it puts him in a vulnerable position of Bruce Banner trying to get out with the Gamma Grenade, might not be able to. Who knows, could snuck off in the moment. Luna Snow ulti, Fate of both worlds to add on to the sustain.
30 seconds left. Fun getting a really valuable pick off onto Invincible's Hulk. But Invincible's Adam Warlock pops the res, bringing him back into the fight. And while Dobby is getting these really important picks, especially on Happy, the Adam Warlock Karmic Revival is able to just bring them all back, and No Limit is going to respond and do the exact same thing. Except Happy comes in from behind, picking No Limit off, ending the Karmic Revival right then and there, completely choking off Marv2lRiva1s from being able to get brought back into the fight as Happy pops the ult and starts raining hell from above onto all of Marv2lRiva1s Pros as they struggle to regroup and recontest this point at the very end here.
And Happy just absolutely shredding through everybody on the side of MR Pro. And even in the overtime, that's 1.17 meters between them and capping out at 3-0 to put themselves at an insane advantage. But now going in with the Blade Storm. Luna Fate of both worlds. Luna Snow here as Happy still keeping alive, keeping on trucking. But now a bit of a swap. NLE Choppa, no more Magneto. Tried with the Venom. Swung too close off point. And now 0-3 for MR Pro to have to climb back up here.
It was so beautiful watching Happy play that fight out. Not even just talking about the numerous KOs that he got, but whenever he noticed Asv on the flank, on the off angle, trying to pick off his team as Happy is so used to doing, Happy just became so aware of him and was constantly contesting the flank, not allowing Asv to have any free space, not have an inch of room to rain hell upon his team. He was just doing such a good job contesting him and keeping him at bay, forcing the Crow back into his spawn. Asv had to back up. There was no way he was going to be able to successfully take an off angle there with Happy just staring at him, doing everything in his power to stop him from even perceiving his team. And with that, Invincible is able to cap the third checkpoint, and now they're on defense, looking to hopefully full hold and stop Marv2lRiva1s in their tracks to end the series, end the tournament with a championship trophy.
I mean, you never say never to a possible upset of the ages, but that would have to mean MR Pro to climb back up to 3-3, and after the fact finish it on defense, which would be, let's really be realistic about it, insane. And against Invincible, as much of an effort as they put up just in the first place on push, I can't even begin to imagine what it's going to be like for MR Pro now that we swap sides.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a really fun attacking phase to watch for Marv2lRiva1s Pros as Asv goes on the flank with Fun, and I mean, they're all just taking this off angle together, taking the little symbiote bridge onto Invincible's high ground, and there's not really too much they can do about it as they just stand there and start taking pot shots at each other, just kind of poking back and forth. Not much happening quite yet until either one of the Hellas just gets a pick successfully, but we're gonna have to wait a decent while for that to happen because both teams have so much sustain that it's kind of hard to make a dent in either team on both ends.
I mean, in the now we have about 2 minutes 59 seconds to worry about. Now No Limit sky really isn't the limit for them, I swear, against Happy, especially finds one pick from the Adam Warlock, and now having to contend with the Hulk in their backline. Got a little scary, but for Invincible, shouldn't be an issue. They are going to be able to pop off with the Luna Snow. Fate of both worlds is now inv1ncible in the front line. Off the Magneto, at least trying to pressure, burst down the Hulk, but to no avail. Still able to dive back out, and Fun will have to deal with this instead. Oh no!
Happy coming back from spawn, immediately getting picked off onto No Limit, but No Limit thankfully is able to revive himself to keep this fight alive for Marvel Rivals Pros as Neko counters the hella all with a magnificent Meteor M, getting 5 KOs. Oh my goodness, this guy is nasty. Neko, you can't be doing that to Marvel Rivals Pros. They only have 2 minutes left to clutch this series up and just try to capture the first point here. And Fun is left alive as Bruce Banner by Invincible, and he is forced to jump off the map in order to respawn as Hulk. Things are not looking too great for Marvel Rivals Pros.
Not too good at all for Invincible. They're still sticking to their guns in this situation. Still sticking to the Hela as Happy has been making mincemeat out of our frontline DPS main players, MR Pro. Now having to worry about it. They only have 1 minute 24 seconds left on the clock here to try and at least cap out anything on our point here at Convergence on Clintar. But if we look at the ulti differentials, 3 on one side, 3 on another, we would have the Adam Warlock revive and the sustain from Cadia, but the same can be said for MR Pro with Felix and the Luna Snow. Fate of both worlds could be the play, and we have to focus on just that as Invincible pulling out all the stops. Cadia, Mantis sustain, as well as Felix coming in with the fate of both worlds, but inv1ncible making mincemeat of Cadia. No more Mantis, squashed like a bug, and where there's one Mantis, there is another coming in from Dobby right now. They're able to snuff out Happy in the backline, just trying to sneak away for extra heals. Not going to be enough. Neko going in with the Meteor M and very much fear Magneto. In this case, you have to fear MR Pro just at all sides. Trade for trade, blow for blow, pick for pick, revive for revive from Invincible. Having to play into the Adam Warlock. Happy's gone. Felix finds 2. AS finds another. And inv1ncible finds a 4th here to really bring down Invincible and get the ace to stay alive. 12 seconds left.
Felix really parting the Red Sea right here, clapping Invincible to death. Doing an incredible job. And I mean, now Marvel Rivals Pros, now that they captured the first point, they're going to be able to take a lot of space here, unless Happy asserts a little bit of a hella differential and kicks off as completely negating all of the space that Marvel Rivals Pros just got. And now they're going to have to fight to get out of this first corner, which is going to be really rough. We've seen a lot of teams really struggle at this first corner, getting held for a really long time, and this is just not a great position to be in, except for the fact, I mean, they do have a lot of ultimates coming on board, but it's still going to be rough, because if you win this fight, there's going to be 1 or 2 more fights left on the second checkpoint right here, and Marvel Rivals Pros, Invincible's Hulk is just trying to do whatever he can, but he gets knocked down into Bruce Banner form as their Luna just starts busting it down to try to keep them alive in spite of As's hella ult.
And of course, to try and counter back against the Meteor, and we are going to be having Happy with the hella ulti. Crow Storm, the goddess of death from above. Not able to find that much, really just not that effective, at least in with the damage, but not really just anything in regards to eliminations, as MR Pro still sticking to the convoy, still very much alive. He'll be swapped over to our Adam Warlock. I imagine wanted to save Karmic Resurgence for a little bit later here.
Yeah, I mean, he's setting up, looking to hopefully get a really big revive here, as Asver picks off Neko successfully. Honestly, yeah, Invincible is looking to just revive them immediately. They do not want to be down a man at any point in the fight at all, so they immediately pop the res. get to and completely negate the two picks that Marvel Rivals Pros just worked so hard for. And now Invincible's Hulk is just trying his very best to take care of Aspen on the Hela, because he knows that if he lets her live, she is going to just do whatever she wants from the high ground, because Happy right now isn't really in the position to contest her, as a lot of Invincible is forced back main.
Just have to put on a show if you are the Luna Snow on the side of Invincible, but now the Meteor M Slam Dunk finds a little bit of damage, but not a secured elimination. Hopefully, say the same for Happy, gets dived upon by the Hulk and gets taken down by Fun. And Elite Choppa finds another, with Dolby finding at least a third for the side of MR Pro. Invincible just all going down. Double elimination for AS against Kadia. And off the stun, and Elite Choppa, shrapnel hit against the Bruce Banner, puts us into overtime still, but still on the convoy.
As really locking in for that last fight, they know that they have to do everything possible in order to capture that second checkpoint, and they do so with success, as there is a minute 30 left on the clock. It's not a ton of time, but if anyone is going to be able to make it work, it is Marvel Rivals Pros, and they are going to hopefully be able to replicate what Invincible did on their own attack, except they're not able to pick up any stragglers, so they are not capable of having that advantage right now in the current moment. But they do have a few ults coming up, and they are ready to use them in order to gain as much of an advantage on this third point here as possible, especially with that Karmic Resurgence here, and Asb taking a really great off angle, picking off Happy. And I mean, if you don't have Happy, what are you really going to be doing for the rest of the fight? And knowing this, Invincible pops the Karmic Resurgence, reviving Happy successfully, and picking off No Limit, who had his own Karmic Resurgence for this fight. So Marvel Rivals Pros, they're going to have to just lose this fight with grace or back up and give them a little bit of space, because they need to take this next fight together with the 4 ults that they have left. Because Invincible committed quite a bit to that fight right there with no longer having a Luna Snow ult. And now Neko with another Meteor M, picking off Asp, and Happy just carrying everyone up, actually successfully getting No Limit, who has the Karmic Resurgence, to revive himself, and he revives everyone on Marvel Rivals Pros. So they're going to be able to hopefully come back in this fight, as they get so many KOs and they revive themselves. But it might not be enough, as Happy is in the Goddess of Death and able to rain down hell from above. NLE Chopper responding with a Meteor M onto Invincible, as Marvel Rivals is hopefully going to be able to win this fight. Maybe
right there.
As Abshin pops the Goddess of Death, but isn't going to be able to contest the objective for much longer. But he gets 2 crucial picks, and Abshin single-handedly clutching the fight for Marvel Rivals Pros as they push the cart further, and there will be 1 fight left right here. He just pulled out every single stop to win that fight. The clutch potential on this man is insane.
Good holy God. In this situation, Goddess, considering that AS is putting up a performance masterclass off the Hela, single-handedly had to come in clutch, and with an overtime 126 meters and counting, they're just right there. Invincible needs something, anything, and NLE Choppa having swapped over to the Venom for the backline dive plays. They want to make sure and quick work of the squishiness they have to offer, but for Invincible, not wanting to let anything go, raged out Hulk as well as a Luna Snow sustained, and now really sticking into it with the fate of both worlds. But it should be another diving strike here off the tendrils from NLE Choppa, but MR Pro losing health and frighteningly fast, and I'm starting not to like it. Diving strike again, Mantis sustain with the ulti, and now hopefully into another team fight, getting into it, starting to get scary if you will. But NLE Choppa, no Feast of the Abyss just yet, building up off the ulti. Happy, however, in the backline, in with the Feast, the close damage, Goddess of Death, and now Happy still sticking onto the point, finds one with NLE Choppa, so at least 1 good secured elimination. AS had to respond in turn with the Goddess of Death of their own. No Limit with 2 revives, Felix and NLE Choppa back just 2.25 meters. We're talking about another elimination for NLE. Kadia gets sent back from spawn, quick revive, starting to scare even more himself. Finds one, finds two, finds three, finds four. Quadruple penta elimination for MR Pro. Ruben, it's tied 3-3.
My heart can't take this anymore. That was the closest two sets of fights I've ever seen, with both Adam Warlocks using their Karmic Resurgence to bring their entire teams back to life and just keeping the fight alive for so long. Not to mention Asmod. Oh my god, this guy is doing miracle work on the Hella right here. Oh my god, the fight before the very last. He single-handedly clutched out so unbelievably hard. Oh, this is just the perfect match. We have 2 rounds left. Both teams left to attack with 1 minute each. What are they going to be able to do with these time banks?
My heart is going pitter-patter right now. 1 minute is all that stands possibly in between Invincible right now and a first championship win, or MR Pro holding this out, and all of a sudden we could be going back and forth yet again. I swear, Ruben, if this ends in a draw, like I don't want it to, that means it would kind of force us into possibly another map situation here in grand finals. But here we go. I'm excited. Let's get this started. 56 seconds left on the clock.
There's no way they would possibly draw. That couldn't possibly happen. As Happy walks up main with the assistance of the Magneto bubble from Neko, getting some really valuable pot shots in from this off angle, as the rest of his team is kind of standing right next to the point, looking to really force Marvel Rivals off of their opportune high ground. Happy really going down here, just trying to get as much done as possible, trying to whittle down inv1ncible slowly, forcing him back into the cubby, ideally, as they land an exile onto the Invincibles. Hulk picking him off successfully. There's only 8 seconds left, and Happy trades him out by getting a pick onto Felix. inv1ncible knocking out the Adam Warlock here, and things are not looking too good for Invincible. They're gonna desperately try to get at least a Mantis ult online to help commit them to the rest of this fight, to hopefully get at least 1 tick. But we're gonna have to see as inv1ncible just kind of standing on the point, being able to do whatever he wants, contesting Happy as much as he likes, as Happy takes the high ground that is so favorable for the defending team. Asmod, knowing this, is going to try to contest him, but he gets caught off guard by Invincible's Hulk, and Happy pops the Hella Hulk, successfully getting inv1ncible, but No Limit is there with the clutch Karmic Resurgence, reviving him, bringing him back into the fight, as Invincible did successfully capture a tick and a half. But inv1ncible pops the Meteor M, not finding any picks yet, and Happy successfully takes down the Goddess of Death from the sky, reverting back to just regular Hela, and Asmod is just doing devious things to their backline as he picks Tidia, but they revive themselves, and inv1ncible has just been standing steadfast on this point for so long. If Invincible gets off the point for even a microsecond, they're gonna C9, and we can't be having that happen as inv1ncible tries to contest Happy, but he has to go back to the point to help with everything else. He's just spread too far thin, and he's not able to do anything about everything, but he is able to finally successfully pick off Happy, and this looks like a pretty decisive fight win, maybe for Marvel Rivals Pro, as they successfully hold the point. But Invincible did get 56% capture progress. This game is not drawable. It is either Marvel Rivals Pros doesn't get the first tick and a half, or they get it all the way and they bring the series home to a nail-biting 4-3 championship win. But we're gonna have to see if they are capable of performing as well as Invincible did on their attack just now.
All right, Shirley, I don't use an inhaler of any sorts. However, my lungs are fried going into this one because, my God, my heart obviously might have some damage as well, as close as this is starting to get. And now, minute left on the clock, at least 40 to get things set up here for MR Pro. Now finding themselves in the attack front line, Invincible. Now having to set up a stalwart defense for themselves, Ruben.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a little tough for Marvel Rivals pros. I mean, 1 minute is not a lot of time at all whatsoever. And while 56% does seem pretty manageable, normally it takes you are given 4 minutes to attack on the first point to be able to capture the objective. So, I mean, asking for 56% is kind of a daunting task for them here as they continue running the same mirrored composition and the races go off. Now, Doobie just looking to hopefully get some pot shots in from across the map, maybe get a pick on the Mantis, hopefully, but this is just going to be so tough for Marvel Rivals pros. The pressure is on.
56, or excuse me, I looked away for a second. 36 seconds left on this clock. They only need just a little room to maneuver. Just get 2.5 stacks here. That's all you need. That's all that's standing in between you and a first-time championship win. But now with Invincible on defense, obviously not wanting to let that happen. Really not much you can do in this situation. I mean, if you are happy, might be a little more than you can do for ASDF. However, getting in with one more pick against the Adam Warlock, revive might be possible pretty soon. I cannot say the same here for Happy, as fun making short work of our squishy frontline DPS players, as well as our backline strategists, but No Limit proving that, hey, I'm not the vulnerable Adam Warlock, but I'm going to make you feel very bad in this situation, they say, as we head into overtime. Kaden at least trying to keep up with the sustain with everybody in the line. Finds one off the DPS pick against AS here as the Luna Snow fate of both worlds. The girls are really girling in this situation, but now good stun off of that one. Exile off rip, Manta sustained from the ultimate, and now another clean, dirty team fight, if you will. Dobie was able to snipe out Happy, having swapped over, but over to the Star-Lord, getting dangerous, having to sort right over. One more assist. NLE Choppa finds one. Neko finds another on the Felix with a shrapnel pick, but still sticking to overtime. Guns here can be revived by the Adam Warlock. A very angry, pissed off Hulk. Karmic Resurgence off in the corner. And Marvel Rivals, Marv Pro, if you will, trying to stick to their guns. Happy pops a Galactic Legend, finds one, finds another, almost finds a third here. Does indeed. Triple elimination against No Limit. Neko secures the final one here, and my God, it's still 3-4. I stand corrected.
And there we have